Hey, look at the name. Look at the name. Woke up. Wait, there we go. Like a little guppy. Oh crap, that's probably gonna make me sneeze again.
Okay, I did bring her. Good, good. I'm proud. I'm proud of me.
You did what now?
I brought my water.
Yeah, I got a little bit left over here. Enough to get me through.
Got it. Yeah.
I'm just trying to copy this link real quick so I can post it a couple places and actually start doing some of that kind of stuff. Since I'm slowly making friends in Discords.
Slowly getting friendlier.
Now this one, it's funny, Streaming Center, it has affiliated, not affiliated, blah blah blah, but the thing is this, we don't stream on Twitch to fit either of those categories.
Were you tubiated?
Because I decided to be weird and just keep everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier.
Hold on. Is there not? There has to be a promo one in this one. I would have left by now if there wasn't a promo thing in here.
Promo.
Can't post there. Social media self promotion. There we go. There we go.
Oh, that's a good idea.
What's that? I saw you had just posted not long ago on yours.
Yeah. Well, I guess I do have more socials than that.
I wouldn't know.
I don't use any of them, okay?
I once talked to Brandon, and I was like, "Listen, man."
Yeah. No, I'm literally the least social extrovert you'll ever meet. Like, I love people, but fuck if I feel like talking to them. I don't get it at all, but I don't want to deal with people, but I love them.
Then you had me on the other side, who I'm like in this kick of like, all right, gotta be social. We'll do it on the internet first, and slowly be better about it in real life.
Oh boy.
I was invited to a Super Bowl thing, and I was like, well, unfortunately, that's going to be a no, because I know who I watch the Super Bowl with.
I was going to say, we kind of have a thing.
And eagerly wager on whether or not number 3 will show.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be we're going to watch the Super Bowl on my deathbed. One day I'm gonna be like, no. I'm gonna be like, I don't care. I gotta watch the Super Bowl one last time.
Speaking of, I was talking about number Brandon one day, and I made like this whole plan. I was like, Brandon, you don't understand, man. Like, I have this whole dynamic, like a business plan layout of if you joined us, the benefit,
we got the right model.
The benefits of it, because once you put the 3 of us together, it doesn't matter, even though we'll be high as hell like we always are for the show. There's high energy there and laughter nonstop, because
and then Brandon's like sober high.
And he is a character by nature.
Yeah, because he's high but sober.
But I was like, listen, man, I have it down. I was like, I wouldn't even, like, besides showing up and talking, like, I have a couple of things that I would just be like, this is additional responsibility besides showing up and talking, like things like Discord. Or that's when we were talking about the gaming thing too. I was like, whenever you play your next game and you're starting up your story, start recording it, cut it into chapters, upload it. It's easy, it's quick. I'm like, together, like, you don't understand just a third person in the dynamic when it's you, especially.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice.
I begged David to do the TikToks. Just do TikTok.
Okay. I can try and do that.
Because you scroll.
I do TikTok a lot. I scroll quite a bit.
So that's what I was like.
TikTok is addictive.
So I'm like, I know he uses it, so it'd be one of those things where I'm like, I could try to push and just get that, because huge platform, right? And I'm like, Brandon, I don't know what the hell I would ask. What I did, I told Brandon, I was like, this is totally outside your wheelhouse. But I would try to get him to run the gaming channel's version of Twitter. And be like, dude, like, literally just go onto Twitter and follow all the gaming news sites and just reply to their tweets. Tweet a little bit on your own, but I'm like, I would give you, just indulge yourself into the world of gaming with it.
Yeah. Come on, Brandon. Hey, if he wants it. Yeah.
We can rule the world. If I rule the world.
Everything nerdy is ours.
If I rule the world, I mean, get to YouTube partner.
Yeah. Like then I'm gonna have to start us up a tabletop gaming channel.
Oh, see, and by the time we ever get to that point, you would assume that we would have enough of people behind us to kind of have a team. Like, you start up a tabletop one, you'd like, all right, if we do this, I need volunteers, and this is what it's going to entail, what your roles are to help make this work.
Oh, I look so white on camera, dude. I can't stand it.
He says to a ginger.
But I don't look this white in person. The camera makes me whiter.
Don't
I mean, I am kind of pale because it's wintertime.
Don't let the hair and the tan fool everybody. He's secretly just a white person that manages to tan in January in the snow. Don't let everything else fool you.
That's what I said. That's why I like the summertime, because I get brown enough to where it ain't no questions.
There's no questions anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I got these features, dog. They scream black.
No, the blanket. The chair was caught on the blanket. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, me too. Okay. All right, let's get the show on the road, but I gotta drink some water.
I forgot I don't have to lift mine up. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. There is an episode of AEW Dynamite, and we are Top Rope Tokes here to talk about it with you. I'm just saying, and that guy...
I'm right here. My name is Range Emotions, baby. Yeah. And he's got that new Top Rope Tokes pullover.
And I, like, typically never, ever in my life wear white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's nice. I mean, if I wear super clean white like this, I'm halfway to looking like a ghost territory.
No, you're darker than your shirt. So you got that going for you.
I'm oranger than my shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, your shirt is like white, but you're like you know, a mixture of orange
Pink.
and pink or something. Yeah, yeah, there we go. There we go.
Speaking of orange, though, our night kicked off with Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. Other pale people and ginger features.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we're not talking about Jay Lethal. Just so everybody knows.
Oh my god.
Like, or Jay Lethal, or any of his people for that matter.
I was going through the list, and Jarrett's the only one.
That man is tan as fuck, so he doesn't count either. I mean, yeah, he's a white dude, but he's browner than I am right now.
So, the start of this match, the commentary team is just going over how there's big changes to this match, and if anyone from Lethal's group interferes at all, Sanjay Dutt is fired.
Yeah.
If Satnam gets involved, fired. If Jeff Jarrett gets involved, fired.
Yeah. See, and you can't get rid of Sanjay Dutt. He's carrying the company right now, man.
My part is, match starts off and Lethal's calling for him, and they're coming down the stairs into the crowd to sit right where they're always on camera. Commentary sees, obviously, the guy who's over 7 feet tall. They notice Jarrett, but Sanjay Dutt was so far ahead of him and did not stick out nearly as much, and they didn't think he was there until they all were sitting at ringside. They're like, oh, yeah, there he is.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, no, he's there. You just couldn't really see him because he was halfway down the stairs already. And he's tiny.
See, one thing about being shorter than tall people, you have to move your legs faster to keep the same pace, right? Well, when you're going on arena steps, that definitely favors the smaller, faster, quicker steps.
Yeah.
He's moving down them stairs.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Them little legs just
Like, because a super tall person would have to shorten their stride by so much, but it's so much closer to our wheelhouse.
yeah, it feels weird to me walking in arena steps.
And they're already steep as hell anyway, typically.
Yeah. I think that's why I don't ever really like to drink very much when I go to any kind of arena, because them steps, man.
I hate them sober.
Treachery. I will bust my ass one day, and it won't be pretty.
Now, see, Danhausen came to bust their ass because he shows up in security outfit, and he wants to check their tickets. He was disappointed that they actually pulled tickets, so he calls out, and I think he said there was like 6 seats, so best friends come from the opposite side, just pushing their way through all the people sitting ringside to sit right behind them.
Yeah, and I didn't even notice that they were the best friends at first. I just thought Chuck was a regular wrestling fan, because that guy just looks like he's just a wrestling fan who just somehow ended up in the ring.
Like, how did Rodney go to work today and he make it all the way to Fresno?
I don't know. A quick flight.
They went to them a lot, as you talked about. It was a good wrestling match, but it was a comedy match.
Yeah. Strong wrestling, but pure comedy. Because everything was funny during this match. Like, when you get Sanjay Dutt and Danhausen out there at the same time, and something's gonna make you laugh.
But Sanjay Dutt knows he can't do anything. So, like, Chuck pours the popcorn on his head, and he can't do anything. It's like, I can't get fired. But,
he need his job.
eventually Bryce goes over to him and he's like talking with Dud, like thinking that he's getting involved, and Dud's like, no, I don't want to get fired. Jeff Jarrett's like leaning behind the ref, giving Lethal his guitar, but man, Danhausen took that like a running back out of the backfield. Just ran right past him, grabbed that shit.
He took that handoff perfectly. Danhausen was the star of this match. Like, he pretty much won this match here because everybody's distracted by the fact that Danhausen has the guitar, and then he slips back into the ring with Orange Cassidy, and then Lethal slips back into the ring with him, and he's ignoring Orange Cassidy and only going for Danhausen. It's like the guy who's got the belt is right there, though. So,
right.
Wah.
Because Lethal had the advantage. Danhausen goes like he's gonna curse him, like starts to act like he's playing it, yells something, then he chases him all the way around the ring, walks into a Casadora roll up, kicks out, and an orange punch in the match.
Yeah, this was funny fun, and I enjoyed it.
About only half the focus was on the actual match because there was that much comedy going on around.
Yeah, there was so much going on around. It was almost like we were watching a comedy where they just randomly cut to a fight that was just happening for some reason. And it was just, I loved it though.
So after the match, Statnum goes to get in there, grabs both the best friends. Dud's trying to stop everybody from getting physical. You and I are just in there like, the match is over.
Yeah. They said you couldn't do anything in the match. So what does this have to do with the match? He could choke everybody if he wants to with his giant fucking hands.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, I know they didn't say interfere in the match. They talked about getting physically involved. I can't remember if they said altercations at all, but you're at a wrestling company. How are you going to tell people they can't fight the whole night?
Yeah. Literally everyone is there to fight, except for MJF.
At one point, you see, after Satnam does let them both go, Trent had just fallen to his ass, and he's in there, he never spilled his popcorn, just sitting there on his ass, eating his popcorn still. He's like, "What's wrong with you, dude?"
Hey. It must have been some good popcorn. That's all I gotta say. I would like to try the popcorn. As long as it's not any of the ones that was on the floor.
Then we get the best friends hug to end the night for that group. Because I don't even think we saw them again in a backstage thing or anything, did we?
Nope. We did not see them again tonight. That would be it.
Just because, that's usually how they end up setting up his next match. It's just like one of those random 1 minute videos backstage. It's like, hey, you want this?
He's like, I got a belt. You want to fight about it? Because I will.
Which is basically, Darby's thing right now. Again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Darby's thing, too. Just, hey. You want to kick my ass? For 10 minutes? And then lose to a roll-up pin? Yeah. Let's do it.
That being said,
sorry, did I just do the whole main event by myself?
Not entirely. There's because there's something in there to talk about, but I figure for the sake of us doing clips, transition to it. We're gonna have that nice cutoff point. Because speaking of the main event, Kushida making his debut against Darby Allin. You and I, well, we were sitting here talking as the show went, like, that is the main event. If it feels like there needs to be something more to it. Like, expected a surprise.
Yeah, I was all about Powerhouse Hobbs showing up and saying, hey, we've got a little bit of history. I want that belt.
Wait,
I've been looking for that belt.
You would want him to talk? I figured he would just come out and destroy Darby.
Well, I didn't think he would come out and destroy him with Sting right there.
Destroy Sting, get that heel heat. Wait, but kind of close to home, but not really? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I don't. I thought he was going to come out and be like, yo, I got screwed out of that belt before. You ought to give me this next title shot.
Because, I mean, we've had no idea what's going on with him, but that was kind of the hope. I was just hoping that there would be enough reaction to warrant ending the show that way. But we didn't get that. There was no surprise at the end.
Yeah. No Powerhouse Hobbs. No Powerhouse.
He was just the most. He was just the most sensible person that would make.
Right. He made sense. He made more sense than anybody else to me.
And we love him, but we have no idea what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, the Book of Hobbs thing is I don't know what's going on with that, but he carries a book around now. That's all I know.
I mean, it could be cool. We just don't know yet because you've been doing it for what, a month?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe slightly more, and nothing's really came of it.
Yeah, we need to see some matches or something. Like, give him a match on TV, please.
Ready for him, but was it him? Maybe he'll still pick up one of these open challenges. Because Darby's still champ.
I think he would definitely be a good challenger for Darby down the road. Maybe could be Revolution. I think that would be a good idea for Revolution.
Because, yeah, obviously, Darby versus the guy who's never been on AEW TV. Darby's going to retain.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But Kushida looked amazing, though.
He came out with young boys from the LA dojo, the New Japan dojo, and that caused Sting to actually come out with Darby this week from the start.
Yeah, because Sting is finally like, all right, cool, I approve. You can do it on your own, but now I'm gonna come out here and support you. Like I wanted to the whole time, but I had to be tough daddy.
He ended up being a focal point about one of my favorite little things about this match towards the end. So I'm happy that he was there during the course of the match. But by far, one of the things of the night that kind of made me go, oh shit. Because there was a lot of great wrestling on tonight's show. But one of the few things that made me actually go, oh shit. Darby sat Kushida in a chair at ringside, goes up to the top rope and goes to like drop kick him through the chair. Kushida slides out and gets him like instantly into the armbar, and it was a vicious looking armbar, and he just wanted to destroy him on the outside of that ring.
Yeah, that was dope. There was a few dope spots in this match. I don't know what the heck you would have called that, but it was like a bulldog, but he grabbed Darby's shoulder instead of his head, like outside the ring. on the mat there. That was pretty cool. Just he has so many different things that he could do with your arm, and I loved it all.
Yeah. His style. I'm sure there's other people like him, but I can't name anyone that he wrestles too much like.
I couldn't think of anybody else that has like he's unique, definitely. I don't think anybody else is like him.
Because they talked about some of the people he's wrestled and he's trained under and stuff like that. So, but he's a blend of styles you don't really see.
Yeah, because you don't see anyone with those kind of mat skills that flies around the way he does. Like, except for Danielson when he was young.
Even I don't even know if he would do some of the things that Kushida does, because like Kushida did the handstand spring off the ropes thing.
Yeah, that was. Oh yeah, Kushida is different. Bring him back. They just might as well make this whole roster Japanese.
It's almost like he's half. It's like half Jay Lethal, half Danielson. Because his movement's probably more similar to someone like Jay Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
But technical like Daniels. Oops, I hit the button again. Didn't mean to hit that button again. But the favorite spot that I was talking about was, you remember after he did that like hammerlock Spanish fly type of thing?
Yes.
And then he locked in the hoverboard, and the dojo guys, they go over to Sting and they toss him a white towel. Like, throw it in.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, his arm was fucked, story-wise.
Yeah. Yeah, like he had Kushida, instead of how the gigantic heels just throw Darby around for a while, he just tried to break his arm for that time that usually those big guys would just be tossing Darby around.
Yeah. Where big guys, it's like an 80-20 for the big guys. This was more like 60-40, because Darby was able to get in some offense throughout the match, but Kushida was able to control the match mostly with technical stuff.
Yeah. Darby's gonna get punished most of the match. That's what Darby matches are.
He even does it to himself.
Just watch Darby do stuff that says, "Oh man, I hope he doesn't hurt himself."
But Darby's able to get out of the hoverlock. Did he use the ropes or did he counter? I kind of missed that split second, but he got out of the hoverboard lock, and then he got into. Then he was able to roll him up with that Last Supper pin.
Yeah, the Scorpion Death pin.
Yeah, cross his legs, flips over.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to. Yeah, I think it's something, whatever you called it, but it should be called the Scorpion Death Pin.
The name that comes to mind is the Last Supper, but I'm not confident in it because I'm like, it sounds kind of right, but it doesn't.
I think that's right.
They didn't use it tonight, even when they talked about it after. So.
Yeah. Because, they were like, I thought they were about to say, I could have swore one of them said Scorpion. And then they're like, oh, a pin.
Because I know he hit the Scorpion Death Drop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what it was.
That was probably, it wasn't like immediately preceding that, I don't think.
That was a little bit beforehand, yeah.
Yeah. He's been using that, but he does it, he never hits it quite like how Sting does. It's usually like him flipping over somebody or countering something into it. A little bit.
Scorpion Death Pin.
Not
Scorpion Death Pin, changing the name.
I have to ask though. Was Kushida trying to give him a pinky swear on another match down the line after? Because he was like, he did like the one and was shaking his hand, like saying so close or whatever, and then he went like this as they were like shaking hands. After a couple of seconds, when Darby didn't do it, he kind of just shrugged it off, like, okay.
I have no idea. And then I feel like I know a decent enough about Japanese culture, and I don't think that's like a sign or anything. So I don't know.
I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
Who do you think got louder chants during this match?
Kushida. Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand that his chant by style is a lot more like yellable, loud, concise, because it's Kushida, so you could just yell 3 symbols. Versus Darby, it was usually "Let's go Darby."
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like it was Kushida.
Yeah, I felt like he was getting the reactions. People were excited about his debut.
And that warms the soul.
It does. It does.
Still no surprise at the end. I accidentally hit the hardest hit button again. Whoops.
That whole match was your hardest hit of the night.
Yeah, it went up there a few times on accident. One time when I meant it.
Everything in that match was the hardest hit of the night. Everything.
I'm gonna skip to.
We're going skip to.
Back towards the beginning. We went from the beginning to the end. But the second match on the card tonight was Top Flight versus the Young Bucks. And you were so prepared to say, it's cool that they're on TV getting a match against the Young Bucks, but they're gonna lose. Going into the match, what odds were you giving them of pulling off the win?
Like let's say we'll give them a 33 and a third % chance.
What if they made this match a triple threat?
Yeah, with Samoa Joe.
No, well, at least it wouldn't be War Joe at this point.
Yeah, definitely no War Joe.
So I was thinking about it because when I originally saw the card in a tag team match, I thought it was kind of odd that it was a tag team match. Because now them being more exclusively in the trios, they said they haven't wrestled a straight up tag team match since like last summer. Granted, they were gone for a couple months.
Yeah, that's true. For reasons.
I was like, this is a way they can, take a loss without it really affecting their standing within the trios. I was still feeling like it was at least 60% chance for the Young Bucks. But I didn't, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty, let's say, we'll say I gave them a 66% chance of winning so that I can keep the 33 and third on Top Flight.
So
but yeah, I pretty much was like, Young Bucks first tag match, and Top Flight doesn't win on TV. Like, yeah.
But your range, let me know who won tonight.
The people did. That's who won. Because Top Flight won the match.
So
hell yeah.
couple of things that I can think back to in this match was Dante had his sequence in the ring, which was very crazy, very athletic, showcasing that. Then Darius had his little bit of a run in the ring, and I noticed, I was like, he's the wrestler, or at least he's the one with a head start on the wrestling. We've seen Dante improve a lot.
He's gotten a little better, but Darius definitely is a little ahead of him in the wrestling category, for sure.
Because a lot of Dante is, let me show you how athletic I can be, not necessarily the most in the context of a wrestling match. Darius was very athletic, but a lot of things that he did were a lot less showcasey, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a lot less flash, more this works doing this, but still flashier than most, because you gotta be able to hang with Dante, man.
Like, because yeah, even being like, the Young Bucks are a great example as in that regard as well. Like, Nick can move with just about anyone on the company, right? But we know Matt can't move nearly to the same level. Or same thing with like Phoenix and Penta.
Yeah, like same thing. Yeah, Penta's a little bit better wrestler. Phoenix, holy shit.
Yeah. But just in order to be able to do a lot of your like tag team stuff, you can't have one person be really fast and one person just being like, eh.
Right. Yeah, like they have to be pretty damn athletic. It's just the other athlete is probably gonna outshine them because they're one of the top at what they do. Like, because it's like Dante, Ray, Nick, those are probably like your top high flyers.
And because of the fact that he's in a tag team with Dante, it makes it even harder to fall into like a shadow in that regard. Because if he looked entirely different, wasn't there with his brother, like completely got to separate himself, he probably would still be mentioned in with that class.
Oh yeah, agreed.
It's just one of those, anything you can do, I can do better in terms of the athletic. Like, Dante just surpasses him.
Yeah, dog. This match was fast.
Oh yeah.
Not like over fast or anything, but it was fast. But obviously we expect that, but I haven't seen a tag match move this fast in a while. Like just a real, like an actual tag, not a trios tag. Because yeah, we've seen those trios matches move this fast, but yeah.
Now, there at one point, I can't remember what they called it exactly, but it was like a Hurricane Rana, but they called it something different. Like Matt hits like a pop up on Dante, and he lands into it, but it was only like 2 feet away from the rope, so it basically happened as soon as he bounced. It just all happened so quick. I was like, I'm like, wait, what? That was a lot of air. That was a lot of speed, and you're just, unless you want to stop and rewind it.
This was definitely a stop and rewind it, because there's just the Young Bucks. They're good for good spots every time, and then Top Flight, they do the same thing. So obviously we were gonna get some what the fuck just happened spots in this match.
Yeah. In my case, it's definitely can I watch this? like on my lunch break tomorrow again, or tomorrow, because we are here to talk with you. But
yeah, but there's like moves in this thing that you want to see over again. Oh my knee.
Because it wasn't stuff that you usually ever see, can't even necessarily name it, right? It's hard to even explain how, and even if you can explain it, you can't you can't grasp the speed, the height, the etc. of these things.
Because Dante Martin jumps so high. It's dumb. It's dumb.
I did see one of the more interesting versions of the setup for the Young Bucks going for, you know, the finisher for the Meltzer driver, Indie Taker, whichever version you want to call it, because Nick was sitting there countering back and forth. I forgot which one of the Martins he had, but ends up in like a backslide pin predicament. But instead of that, he flips them. As he flips them over, he goes right into a tombstone position with Matt. I mean, it gets broken up, so it doesn't actually get finished, but it was one of the more different and nice ways I've ever seen him set up for it.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. I love Top Flight's finisher that they didn't get to finish with, or if it's not their finisher, it should be the power bomb.
It is.
When Darius gets him up in the power bomb, and then Dante does the springboard splash. That's so cool.
I like it as a tag team finisher. I hate it as Dante's finisher alone.
Yeah, I don't like it as Dante's finisher. I have the exact same feeling about it. Yeah. It's weird. It looks weird as like a singles finisher, but when they combine it like that, dope.
I mean, we've seen people who are heavier than Dante, so it's going to be more impactful, do moonsaults like that onto people for decades. I mean, granted, one of the more memorable matches in wrestling history with 1-2-3 Kid and Razor ended with a moonsault, but Razor got right up and was like shocked, so it doesn't happen. So for that to be his sole finisher as a solo,
yeah, springboard moonsault is but hey, springboard moonsault with a power bomb, that's dope.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
As we talked about with certain kind of power bombs in the past, a good looking power bomb still a good looking fucking power bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And yet Wardlow gets to use as his finisher.
Yeah,
it's all right.
He has a good power bomb.
Like it,
he does. I like it.
Like I don't.
There are better ones.
I don't dislike it. I just, to me, it's not special. Like, there's nothing that makes me go, damn, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Keith Lee's powerbomb looks really fucking good.
Yes. That's why I said there are better ones. That was the one that I was thinking of when I said there are better ones.
Depending on how you want to count it, Takeshita's Blue Thunder Bomb.
Yes. That bad boy is nice.
Just obviously a different setup. Anyway, so Young Bucks go for a BTE trigger on Darius. He ducks it and is able to roll up Matt. I believe it was Matt Jackson for the win.
Yes. He rolled his punk ass up. Top Flight win. Yeah.
Every time you go say the word top, I think of the show name.
Flight.
Which again, we are Top Rope Tokes, and if you're still here watching live, don't forget the like button. If you're watching one of our clips, and this actually makes it in, which I'm guessing no. You know, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and join the Discord. Let's talk wrestling. let us know. That part don't really matter. I just gotta finish. I was gonna do the whole thing, kind of how I need to do a voiceover or get you to do a voiceover for that final like 10-second end card to say like, hey, if you've liked this video,
yeah, okay, I can do that.
Or what are your thoughts on what we talked about, kind of thing. To try to get comics likes or share. It has to be obviously like probably 9 seconds or under, just so it can fit with that card. So it has to be concise but work. So
Sites.
it's going to be an interesting one to knock out because it's a lot to say in a short amount of time.
Okay, I can be an auctioneer.
Not necessarily like that.
Let me just read off the fine print.
Knock out a couple of segments that came after this, because they don't really go with anything else on the show. The Acclaim were supposed to come out, right? Who came out?
The ass boys. Of course.
They talk about how
Sons came out.
the Acclaim embarrassed them, but they made the Acclaim popular. They made them champs. They gave them their daddy. Watch wrestling. Watch AEW. I promise you, you'll get laughs. You'll get wrestling maneuvers that make you go, that looked rough. And thank you for subscribing to the channel.
Yes, thank you, Disco Dad.
But they gave them did the whole thing about, we gave you our dad again, which honestly, like, I can't hear them say that in any kind of way and not find it funny.
I mean, it's true though. They pretty much loaned them their dad, and like
sometimes when they say
like,
it,
we don't want our dad anymore. You can have him.
Sometimes when they say it, I almost want to think of like South Park when they say they took our jobs. Like they took her dad.
They took her dad. But of course they don't get too long to talk all that trash. The Acclaim come out and they're just like, nah, we're not gonna let you rap either though.
Yeah, they cut off the rap. They kind of talk back and forth for a quick second, but he like buried him, and he ends up saying, talking production truck in the back, so like, cut Austin's mic, it hit my music so I could freestyle.
They cut the end of the freestyle, and I really wish I had heard it.
The crowd had a nice reaction, and we had no audio.
So yeah, we have no idea what he said there, unless if you're really good at reading lips.
I'm going to cross my fingers on this one and hope I can hop on Twitter sometime tonight as I'm doing like video editing and stuff and catch it.
Twitter's got it.
I mean,
Twitter's got everything.
We saw the uncensored MJF promo where he called Tony Khan a fucking mark from Japan, as it was uncensored. Like it's got to be out there.
Yeah, there's got to be somewhere. It's got to be an uncensored video. I think I agree. But this was wild,
though. After the rap's over, they get in there and start to fight, but Billy slides in and starts pulling them apart. Isn't doing it justice, because he basically grabbed them and chucked them across the room, like the ring, like they're pillows.
Have you seen Billy Gunn? Everything looks like a pillow next to Billy Gunn.
Uh,
It's like, here, you pillows.
like I can't remember who the two were on the left of the ring, but it was a mix of the two teams. Like he didn't throw them apart like together. They just four corners. But the ones on the left, they were just in there looking at each other like shocked, like they were surprised to be next to each other, or surprised that they basically just got chucked by Daddy.
When Daddy Ass says stop, you gotta stop. Oh man. Like they got sent to like their timeout corners. It was great.
Tells the ass boys that they're acting like entitled little brats or whatever, and he looks at the Acclaims like, "You're the tag team champs. Start acting like it." They just like look shocked, like, "What?" Like, it was one of those. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed, and it broke their souls.
This segment was ridiculous, but I loved it. Just and even the way he signed it out. Got, just the usual. I got 2 words for you. Family therapy.
Because of course you hear the crowd go back to the 90s and yell "suck it."
Yeah, they yell "suck it," of course.
Because like what it feels like, it's usually he gives it a couple second breaks for the fans to say "suck it," and then it'll be like "scissor me" or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, family therapy.
Family therapy was the 2 words today. They are apparently going to have a sit down.
Oh yeah.
Which I think this is maybe it'll be a little far out still, but I feel like this is building up to try and have the Revolution match here, I think.
Are they going to build?
But it would be a long build here, I guess.
To Billy siding with his actual sons again?
That was my initial thought, is that he's going to do the double turn and go back to his actual sons.
Because they failed miserably the first time.
Yeah. I'm gonna say they were nothing before.
Mm-hmm.
At least Billy got over by himself with the Acclaimed. But I don't know, maybe Billy's gonna try and go back to the Guns and get them over again now. Mm-hmm.
Because now that he's been with the Acclaimed, like the Acclaimed were on their way up, but now they're like made men. Like they're set. Yeah. And now how can you get the actual heat on the Sons? By ruining Daddy Ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's it's obviously this is the way it's going, as it's going to be the next big storyline for them.
At some point,
definitely,
I need to like start marking down when I make predictions, just so that way I can say, like, easily go back on things. Because remember, I was saying, Ass Boys, like early on, like as soon as like the Acclaimed were in that position to win the championships, I was like, they're next.
Yeah, you did say they were next, and they might be very well next.
I still want to know what the plan was for MJF and CM Punk, because as soon, basically, MJF did the promo, he left. The next week is when they announced Punk was done. It was something like that night or shortly thereafter that I said something along the lines of, Punk will be back, and then MJF's coming back. He's taking the title from Punk. I want to know if it would have happened at Grand Slam, like I originally thought it would. But we'll never know.
But feels like the right timeline. Feels like it would have been the right timeline. But Guns Acclaimed Revolution with Daddy Ass doing a double turn.
I'm curious though, because you talk about a long build, and we have a good amount of time at Revolution. I wonder if they actually face each other at like a big Dynamite before.
Yeah,
And the
whatever
turn
this
happens there to set up
February 8th
Revolution.
one. Yeah, whatever this February 8th Dynamite is, or is it February 8th or February 9th?
February
Can't
8th
remember.
was the Dynamite set by MJF or Danielson.
Yeah, so maybe that's going to be a bigger Dynamite.
But I feel like because that's the end of Danielson's road to get to MJF, Danielson might have the main event that night.
Yeah.
But then again, if you swerve and you have a turn with Daddy Ass and all that, that's probably something for the start of the show.
I feel like I would end the show with that.
You could. I'm just also thinking that I could see Danielson officially getting his match with MJF being like a positive note for the crowd to end with. That's the only thing I can think of.
Because, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, because I just like shows ending in chaos with a heel doing something like that, like something like that happening.
I don't mind it as long as it's effective. I feel like AEW tries to do its best to always have the fans end happy for the most part. But then again, when they've had some of the shows end with heels standing tall, it's been a little bit underwhelming when they've tried it.
But if that happened, like Daddy Ass turning heel on the Acclaim, that's like as ridiculous as it is, that's gonna be like the biggest turn.
A guy that's not gonna have any bearing in an actual matches earlier.
Like, that's literally gonna be the biggest turn. And there was a turn tonight that we saw, but that still would be a bigger turn. Oh man, I need some waters.
So after that segment was a nice little one with Hangman and Renee, where I feel like this is one of those times that they really let Renee have like personality as an interviewer, which has disappeared for wrestling for a long, long time.
I mean, well, she got to answer questions about Moxley.
He got to sit there and have a conversation with the man who knocked her husband the fuck out.
Yeah. He kind of knocked him out.
Not legitimately, like he was. Heyman talks about how, like, he said he was going to take the belt from Mox back in Cincinnati. So he made, like, a liar out of him, and he took his word from him. And so when he got to come back and beat Mox and basically lay him out, the same way he got to get his word back, and that meant a lot to him. Yeah.
I don't know. Nate said that John respects Hangman.
Pushes him to be a better version of himself.
And then Hangman was like, nah, fuck that. He was talking good shit a minute ago.
Yeah. He talks about how, Mox, made a joke out of it when he came back. But he's like, you know what? If Mox wants to come back and step to my face and say something when he's back, go right ahead.
Yeah.
He did seem a little bit surprised at first by it. We're like, what?
Yeah. Because, he was talking that good shit a minute ago.
But here, things get real interesting at the end.
Yeah, this is where it's interesting. So he says he has to have some tough conversations.
They also had us see about mending some fences, too.
Yeah.
I feel like those are not connect. I mean, they're connected, obviously, but they're not to the same people, right?
Right.
So my thoughts are, especially since we kind of saw the story going a while back, no more Dark Order. Make up with the Elite.
That's the best that I can think of.
What would your tough conversation be with the Elite? You had been with them. You could try to mend fences with Dark Order, but you never really did anything to mess anything up with them.
Yeah. I don't know. 'Cause what I'm thinking of a tough conversation is in like, hey, Dark Order, I'm gonna be hanging with the Elite now. Maybe that's the tough conversation he has to have there.
That's why I think it's the only thing that really makes sense.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't think of any other things that would be involved because he doesn't have anyone else that he's involved with. Because he talked about Mox here, and then yeah, those are the only other sets of people that he's involved with at all.
Yeah, we saw them starting to make up right around the time of the trios tournament before they got Kenny, and
yeah,
so it all makes sense. But they do end with like Hangman sincerely asking Renee, "How's he doing though?"
he was like, yeah. Or didn't he? Didn't he say, you know what? Never mind. Or was that to something else?
No,
he was just like, yeah. No.
Because what it was is he said, "You know what? Tell him," and then he stopped himself and said, "No,
Oh,
never mind."
there we go. Yeah, yeah. There we go.
Like, I wonder if he was gonna say, "Tell him best wishes" or something, and then said, "Nah, fuck that."
Yeah, like nah, forget that. He was talking that good shit. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, but damn, what happens to the Dark Order? They just been taking all the L's lately.
I think I saw Being the Elite, because I haven't watched this part or yet. At some point, I think because the role of Silver and Reynolds used to be like they were the recruiters.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like they were turning around and trying to train Evil Uno to go and try to recruit. I don't know.
So that's going to be their angle, is that they're looking for a new member or members.
At this point, they need to find an actual leader.
Yeah. Yeah, they do need a leader.
Do we have any comedy people that work? Maybe not necessarily comedy, but more lighthearted type of people that would make sense that are maybe running solo? Can't think of anything because most of them are already in groups.
Yeah, they've got pretty much everybody in a group.
All right, so here's the plan. They start sucking up to Matt Hardy, and they're there for him when he gets to finally leave the firm and all that. Then you up with Dark Order versus the firm. I can see Matt Hardy with a group like that.
Yeah.
I ain't saying it's a good choice, but
yeah, that's. So yeah, he could be there like, yeah, he could be there like old man leader, yeah. But I don't know. And then also, but what happens with Isaiah and all of this? Because he's been like a major part of that story too.
Yeah, I have no idea how it would work out, but it's not the first time or the last time that we'll see two tag teams in the same group, because eventually Quinn would be there with them.
Mhm. Right. Eventually, when Quinn comes back, I'm sure Isaiah will be doing something different,
Ooh, but
or at least tagging again.
you could just put Evil Uno with Silver and Reynolds and make them a trios.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, they could be trios, but AEW doesn't seem to really be trying to make an actual trios division. They just want three random people to challenge for the belts occasionally.
I think they started their trios division, had everything in motion, and then you
Mhm.
lost the whole Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole trio, and then the Elite after All Out, and it's just been like, hey, we put the wheels in motion, and we were gonna have like these three groups or so in the beginning that it can kind of revolve around. Oh, two of them are gone now.
Yeah, that would have been good because you would have had the Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, the Elite, Death Triangle still.
And by the
And then
time that you would need to, you probably would have made Orange Cassidy lose his belt by now, and then you would have best friends.
and then of course we're gonna have House of Black.
And then you have, the factions that you can always throw a story in with.
Right.
Like, here's Danielson, Claudio, and Yuta. Here's Chris Jericho trying to hog all the limelight with Jake Hager and Sammy Guevara.
Mm.
Actually do that, because that means they can only be in one match on the show a night. We don't have to watch them in separate matches ever.
Oh, the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass.
I want it for at least one short bit.
I'm gonna say I just want to see it one time.
Like, give them that like 1 or 2 month run where you can kind of build up to a championship opportunity, and they lose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I want to see. Yeah, like I would love to see them in a trios title like scenario, but maybe not winning. But I want to see that. I would love to see it. Like, let's let them go for those trios belts.
Listen, if he doesn't turn on them to rejoin his sons, you can wait till they lose the titles, go for the trio cells, lose, put it on Billy, and then revisit it down the line then. Because he's not. Because at that point, you're talking about a year to two. Like, you're talking pretty significantly down the line with it. You wrote it pretty good. It's gonna be time to try to use that to create some other kind of drama or not get stale.
Yeah, yeah. That I mean, obviously, if that's a whole lot of ifs.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot of ifs.
Yeah.
Whiffs and skiffs.
It's just one of those things when injuries and stuff happen, and it's kind of hard of why you can plan so far down the road. But I'm sure they would have made do. Just obviously would have been off to a much better start if you didn't lose those other couple of trios for a while there.
Good point.
So next we had the Ricky Starks versus Jake Hager match.
Jazz cheats the whole match.
There is a certain stretch of time, kind of early in this match, where the whole dynamic was watch what we can do without losing the purple hat. Like,
I fucking love the purple hat, man.
Like Ricky went full speed and did a baseball slide to the outside of the ring. Like they were lifting each other up, and like it was I don't know how it stayed on as long as it did.
It was a nice fit, you know.
I'm pretty sure Hager and Starks do not have the same size head though.
Hey, Ricky's got a big head, dog.
What if there's like secretly a little like drawstring in the inside of the hat just to make it tighter?
Tighten it up just a little bit, keep that hat on while you're getting tossed around. That would be cool.
Daddy Magic and Cool Hand, they set a pit table at ringside because they want to revisit how this match came to be with the power bomb.
So many daddies out there, jeez.
Yeah. It took a second. I was like, Magic.
Yeah, that one. A different one. Jeez.
Can we go back to them having a tag team name? That would make life so much easier.
Please. It's going to be Daddy Magic and Cool Hand all the time now.
Because I can't say JAS was there at ringside and did it because there was like 6 other members.
Yeah, well, what? Wait, Daniel Garcia came out later, didn't he? Or
yeah, they came down after the match.
Daniel Garcia and Sammy came out after, yeah.
Jericho was on commentary.
Of course.
And then you got Anna and Ty.
Yeah, they were just hanging out. I kind of wanted Ruby and Willow to come out and beat him up, even though Willow had a match later.
Towards the end of the match, Daddy Magic gets on the ring apron, starts to distract Ricky, the referee, which allows Cool Hand to end up grabbing Ricky's arms from the ring apron, and Hager charges him, but Ricky's able to dodge out of it. The usual, hit. The heel hits the other heel. Ricky bounces off the ropes, hits the spear, and gets the win.
And then he runs away immediately.
Because the rest of GAS comes sprinting to the ring.
It's like in the NBA when you hit the game-winning shot. Just, I'm out.
Yeah, man, like when some of them hit the 3 and they're so confident in it that they turn around before the shot even hits. You hit a game winner, like if somebody hit a game 7 in the finals winner where you turned around and walked away as it was happening, that like, if you're the person guarding him, your career is over.
Yeah, like Ricky Starks gives off this like a 90s kid protagonist, like a Home Alone or something like that, like just the kid that figured it out and destroyed all these adults and made it away, and then he just does some poses for him just to let him know.
He runs up through the stairs in the crowd, up the aisles, just posing like halfway up.
Yeah, just cheesing and posing. And I'm like, yep, this is where he reminds me of a 90s protagonist, like a kid in a movie. Like, I outsmarted all these adults.
Tell me why the random movie that comes to mind is Blank Check.
Dog. Love that movie so much. $1 million. This man bought like a $15 million mansion for $1 million.
Got a giant didn't he
got
get
everything inside of it too?
Didn't he get like a giant slide installed after the purchase? It wasn't there before.
Yeah, he got that installed. Like he had a limo and driver at all times. He had like 5 servants in the house and stuff. I was like, yo, even in the 90s, that was more than $1 million right there.
Not only that, somehow that was like the smartest, most prepared kid, because somehow he managed to accomplish all of this in like days.
Yes.
Like, I'm gonna scam somebody of $1 million. I need to have contractors lined up, real estate agents already have a deal brokered and closing set for same day.
Yeah. And nobody caught him until he had already spent all the money.
Because no bank would even let you, like, you gotta put that in the bank or cash or whatever. Like, you're not even getting that done as a child.
No. Yeah, he figured it all out and spent all his money. He lived that good life. Now he knows what it's like to have money. And he's got to go back to being his normal kid self. Although I think that was part of the thing, is it made him humble. Because he had to go back to his regular life.
Speaking of humble, you know, after Jericho's been kind of losing lately. After the commercials, they come back and it shows JES backstage. They're all upset. Tired of Ricky. You know, he beat Jericho. He beat Hager. So they want a tag team match against him. Him and Sammy. Against him, and he calls Action Andretti a little orphan.
Yeah. Action Andretti, the orphan.
Yeah. It's just random. Garcia actually says he wants the match, and Sammy tells him if he wins this match on Friday, then Garcia can have his spot.
So that's probably not going to happen.
I have no idea who he's facing.
I think it's Andretti.
Is that who it was? I know Sammy, when Garcia was trying to step up, Sammy was acting so proud of him and started giving him hugs again, and Garcia's just like trying to shuffle him off.
Yeah, I'm sure it's yeah, it's Andretti.
It would make perfect sense.
I just had to make sure. But yeah. So I was like, I thought I saw the graphic at the end of the night.
I only halfway paid attention. I think I caught some things and then completely forgot the others. Like, I know we're gonna see sometime soon Ethan Page versus Jungle Boy. And that is literally the only thing I remember right now.
Yeah, that sounds like a Rampage match.
Mm-hmm. Oh, never mind. That's the next thing on the card anyway. So we had a clear match of the night, though.
Oh yeah.
That was next on the card.
Oh yeah.
The man who disappeared for far too long in Bandito. He's next up for Bryan Danielson.
Bandito. The guy that they signed and then just let us forget about.
And he's so good.
Mm-hmm. Bandito has everything that we need. Everything.
So, earlier we talked about the Top Flight Young Bucks match and lack of being able to take notes, keep up with it, just enjoying the match. This was an entirely different story. They moved quick at times, but they had spectacles of like other things that just kept your attention on them so strong. It's you gotta watch it.
Yeah, I love this. and their styles are very different, but they made their styles work together.
Honestly, this is one of those matches that, granted, I'm not putting too much stock into one man's opinion, but there's, the Meltzer scale, the how many stars does Meltzer give it. This is one of those matches that it was good enough that I am genuinely curious what it's going to come out as for that dude's opinion.
Yeah.
And needs respect.
Yeah, that was good. This was damn good. Bandito, man, he just, everything he does is hot. I loved when he did the when he hopped to the top rope and did that corkscrew splash. Dog.
Hold on. Assuming that you want the logo, it's there.
Oh, no,
okay.
no.
There's that pause. Nope. I didn't know if you were setting it up
principle, for it. It has been saved. You already know. Gotta save that boy. My hit of the night comes later.
Honestly, Bandito, his feats of strength, holding up Danielson for that suplex and doing that leg twitch when your muscles are weak and you have to push through. Like, I don't know if you can sell that. I can't make mine do that on their own, can you?
Not like that. No, I mean, he's doing this 10 minutes into the match. So they've been going for a while, and now he decides to show off his strength, and it's just like, that makes it more impressive.
And before and after this point, he had those points where he did the whole dead weight lift off the mat when caught in a submission. So like, he's been lifting Danielson all up around the ring.
Yeah, this was... Put Bandito on. Where has he been at? Why are we just seeing him just now?
I forgot the name, but his rolling German suplex thing, 21 flex or whatever.
21 plex.
21 plex, yeah.
Yeah.
The first time he went for it, I don't know if it was messed up, if it was supposed to be a counter and it just wasn't that smooth. But it almost looked like really, really bad. But the second one looked really, really good.
Oh yeah, the first one. It's Danielson. I can't ever tell. Like he sells so well that you can't tell what's real and what isn't.
Because it's not even that he had to necessarily sell things too much on that one. But the release was so low that his head barely missed landing directly on top of the mat, but he did the whole flip out of it. So it was so close to landing directly. Usually you see them flip a lot more safely, if that makes sense. Like they have more air on it, their head's not so low to the ground.
That's what makes it nasty.
It just always, I see it, I'm like, don't drop on head.
But yeah, no, that's always one of my fears too. Is just, I don't know why I like wrestling, because I don't want to see nobody get dropped on their head, and there's so much opportunity for it.
Especially like you and I, big football fans, it's the same kind of way as the helmet to helmet hits. Oh no, we are high as fuck and we just talk wrestling. Now we talked about it, it was weird. Was a little bit surprised by Danielson win with the Bazaico knee. Because
You
usually
don't see him do that
see him like
to end.
right. Like it's
That's usually
usually
like his
set up.
like a signature, like a setup type of thing. Yeah.
I mean, here and there he still does win with it, but I swear it's always stomps after, right? And then the already passed out in submission.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was different finish for him. I liked it. Yeah, at the end, so it looked like Danielson was about to try and take Bandito's mask off, or did I misinterpret that?
I
It
feel
looked like he was about to try and take his mask off, and I was very confused.
I don't think he was going to. Um, but the way that the camera angle and everything was done, you just see the
Mhm.
hand on the other side of the head from the camera. So it looks like he's grabbing at the back of it.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if he was just kind of. I don't know if there's a language barrier
maybe
there.
he's just like, hmm
If he was just like checking on him, kind of patting on the shoulder, kind of reaching out. Because I do know they do little things like squeeze each other's hands and stuff after big spots, just to kind of be like, yeah, I'm good. So I don't know if there's little signs that they can do without speaking as well.
yeah, I don't know. That was just, it looked weird. It looked like he was about to try and take his mask off, and I was about to be real sad.
Because when you and I were sitting there watching it, I was in my head, I was like, that's an LFI thing. That's not a you thing. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, maybe it was just a weird camera angle that made it look like he was about to rip his mask off, and that's not what was happening at all, because the rest of like his body language didn't say, I'm gonna rip your mask off.
What if he was
It was,
secretly whispering to Danielson, can you loosen up the back of my mask now? Just real quick. I need to breathe.
yeah, he's like, my mask is too tight. Loosen it up a little bit for me. All right. There we go. That's a good weird story for it. Just being a homie.
Like, help me out. Because he was face down, so he could get away with, well, that, and he has a mouth covering. He can literally talk to anyone anytime he wants, and you can't see his mouth move.
He's just like he can be like a cartoon character in a bad dub, where it's just the mouth moves, but the words don't match at all.
Speaking of bad audio, though, after the match, there was a terrible transition into MJF promo. Danielson's music went on way too long.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just looking at MJF with Bryan Danielson music playing in the background. It was weird. Although there was some correlation with the mask here.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go entirely different direction with it at the very end. I don't. He starts off doing the normal heel thing. Just says he's not going to be there live for them, and he's starting to feel unappreciated by the fans. Like, okay, people still love you, but okay.
Yeah, he's not. He sees what Bryan Danielson and all the fans are talking about, and he just doesn't. He doesn't understand that, because it's him. He's MJF, and you've only met the masked Max. You don't want to see him when his mask slips off. You don't want that.
And then he, talks about Danielson thinking he's, a dragon. Well, he talks about the monster behind the mask. I really thought he would have just returned to the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've built that into your story already. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're just a generic monster, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm taking a dragon. Every single time. Dragon whoops monster ass.
And you could be a monster and be like a gremlin.
A dragon is essentially a top tier monster. So
yeah. If you ask me, like a dragon versus like a gremlin, yeah, I wonder who wins that battle.
Is the gremlin wet?
Do you think it takes out the dragon? If wet?
No, but still.
Or after midnight or whatever it was?
Yeah, if you feed it after midnight or if you get them wet.
I'm still taking the dragon.
Yeah, I'm taking the dragon. Taking the dragon every time.
A little bit later, though, there's a little segment backstage with the Prince Nana, Brian Cage. Yes.
Yeah, Prince Nana. Oh, okay. Yeah, you missed this one. So yes, it was announced that Brian Cage will be Bryan Danielson's next opponent. That was hard there with the two Bryans. I thought I was gonna mess up somewhere. I'm happy I didn't. So yeah, Brian on Brian action. I forgot when they said it would be. I think it's the next Dynamite.
Yeah, because remember the whole thing is he has to wrestle on every Dynamite.
Every Dynamite. Yep. So then I think it's Renee that's back there with Brian Cage and Prince Nana, and MJF walks up before they get to say anything because she's just, what do you think about, facing Bryan Danielson next week? Brian Cage starts talking and MJF walks up and he pulls out an envelope from his chest pocket in his suit and he says, I don't care about you winning. I don't care about you losing. I want you to break his arm. And he says, this is more money than either of you have ever seen. Like, break his arm. And then Brian Cage was like, are you crazy? He just grabs him up by his throat. And then Prince Nana's like, hey, the money. And he's like, he lets him down. Prince Nana takes the envelope from MJF. And MJF is like, I just need you to do this, basically. And then he walks off.
So
but yeah, Prince Nana goes ahead and pockets that money real quick.
Hour-long Iron Man match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if they did something where they let him break his arm and Danielson had to wrestle one arm, right? For an hour.
Right.
If you're MJF, don't you just take an easy, like, give up 2 disqualifications and just get his arm into a chair and beat the shit out of it so he has no good arms, and then you just whoop his ass for another 50 minutes?
Maybe that's how he's going to plan on winning it. He's just gonna, or that'll probably be the story of, is Bryan Danielson's arm ready? Is he going to be able to?
That'd be crazy.
Or MJF's going to be targeting that arm during the match, and they'll be like, "Oh, Bryan Danielson's arm was broken a month ago."
Because what?
And he's wrestling still.
So it's going to be Cage on the 25th. So there will be 2 more after that still, and then a whole other month until he gets to fight MJF.
Yes. I don't know why my brain went to Cage match and not Brian Cage, even though we were just talking about Brian Cage. You said Cage, and I'm like, a cage match? I didn't hear about that.
So before we get into the women's match on tonight's show, there's a video package that actually matters. served a purpose, and the dialogue was not bad. So it's not terrible to review. Kind of have to.
Oh, the Adam Cole thing.
Oh, no. Before the...
That was the only recap I remember.
No, not recap, but video package. They had the ones with Saraya, Tony, and Sheeta before we had the match tonight.
Yeah, that one was kind of important, I guess. Yeah.
So you figure before we go into anything on the show, it's kind of odd that they're having Tony Storm, babyface, versus Willow, a much more popular babyface.
Because Willow is, Willow's just more popular. But Tony is a heel, and she's been kind of hinting towards turning heel, but they've like kind of slowed it down with Saraya coming around, and now I don't know. But this promo though, she was talking like a heel here.
Oh, they were just bitches right to their friend.
Yeah, like, and then they treated Sheeta like she was the little kid that can't come play with them because she's not cool enough or something. They're just like, no, you stay in the back room.
Because Saraya is like blaming her for the way they lost with the whole kendo stick spot being thrown into the ring. Tony sticks up for her, says, I've known Sheena for a long time. She wouldn't do this on purpose. She tells Saraya that these homegrown talents haven't been anywhere else and they don't know what they don't know like they do. She's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then she was just like, I'm chopped liver over here again. All right.
They're just
messed up,
running down the homegrown talent, which includes her, and they're just kind of some they're like gossipy, doing the mean girl like talking trash thing, and she just left out in the cold. But then Saraya says she needs to stay in the back for the match tonight.
Yeah, she needed everything tonight because she was facing Willow Nightingale. I was a little sad to see Willow Nightingale on TV to lose, but I'm happy that she is on TV regularly now. And I'm gonna take that as my victory here.
And it's probably gonna parlay into still more story for her going forward. So you're gonna continue to see her on TV.
Oh yeah. The result of this will definitely mean more. Yeah. You know what? Go ahead and give me the graphic. Go ahead. Because I made sure to make my hit of the night something that Willow did. The best thing that Willow did tonight was her pounce. I love her pounce. It is
it's always
it looks effective. It looks effective, yeah. And just seeing her face when she does it, like she is putting everything into it. Because you can just see
she has a good couple of power moves that she does very, very well, and I love it.
Yeah. I'm loving seeing Willow more and more. Tony was working this match fully heel. Like she was definitely a heel before this match started here, and it was just confirmed.
Oh yeah. But before we went to the commercial break, we got to see Sheeta come down to the ring with her kendo stick, of course. She doesn't look happy, so kind of being outcasted. Usually know this is going somewhere, but we speculated before, not today, but that maybe Sheeta was going to end up turning on him.
Yeah.
And the way that started to come out, but then you see how this match dynamic's working out, it's just all kind of, it's not exactly lining up how you thought.
Yeah, and then as it was happening, I was saying to you like, "Hey, I think this might actually be Tony Storm turning heel here." Like during that match, I was like, because it finally dawned on me. Okay, she's turned her back on Hikaru Shida, and now she's going to be she's working heel in a match against Willow Nightingale. Those are the two baby faces on the women's roster right now. And she's turning on both of them right now. I'm like, yeah, this is it. Here's her heel turn.
It was just odd, mainly because I don't know if anyone would have expected Saraya to be heel.
Yeah, it feels natural for her to me.
I think at this point it'd probably be good
for her. Yeah, because I also think that, like Tony, her reactions haven't been as good as they expected. Like, people were like, all right, you're back, cool.
I still have more interest in her as a heel than Tony, though. I'm not.
Yeah,
she might prove me wrong, and I'm open to it. We'll see.
I'm interested to see both of them go heel. Although I thought Sheeta as like a Yakuza mob leader type of thing, like just picking up randoms off the lower mid card stuff, like just pick up some randoms and have this like Yakuza thing going. I thought that would have been cool, but it's all right.
Maybe
Tony Storm.
He does it solo as a baby face against both of them. Always like trying to pick off her opportunities to come after them after she spurned them, or they spurned her.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously going to be some kind of story there.
And that's where it got just kind of weird, because like I'm sitting here thinking about Saraya being a baby face. I'm like, all right, so that has to happen. I'm like, there's a lot that's got to go here. But there's a lot of moving pieces. And sure enough, because as you talked about Tony Storm wrestling this match as a heel, she won with a roll-up using the tights.
Yeah, she cheated.
And then Saraya attacked her.
Yeah, I'm saying Saraya distracted the ref so that he didn't see the roll-up.
I'll say I didn't even catch that part.
Yeah. Saraya distracted the ref when Willow was about to get ready to do her Blue Thunder Bomb.
Blue Thunder Bomb or Dr. Bomb?
Dr. Bomb, sorry. Yes, my bad.
Because that's the other power move that I absolutely love that she does.
Yeah. Like she was about to do that Dr. Bomb, and Saraya hops up there, distracts the ref, and I'm like, it's looking more like it's happening. And then, and they started attacking her after the bell. I was like, it's there, it's happened. Here it is. And then Sheeta just stood there and watched, though. Little plunk.
But after that match that Ruby and Willow had, that street fight, Ruby still has her back. She comes out and they leave the ring. She has Willow's back, which is bringing other people into this group, because, for a while we had Tony, Saraya, and sometimes Sheeta against Britt and Jamie. It's kind of spinning everything off in different directions and getting other people involved, which was desperately needed, and maybe that opens the door for that eventual Britt Jamie story.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, because we know it has to happen, but it's just with the way things are. Although now Tony and Saraya can have a Willow and Ruby thing.
Yep.
But And I guess really, because the Jamie and Brit thing doesn't really even matter, to be honest with you, dog. Like, because it was never really a feud. It was just like a, hey, you're new here, and you think you're gonna be good, so I'm gonna be mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just went
Like,
on for a
it's
while.
fine. Yeah, it went on too long. And it's okay that it ended the way that it did. Because I like Ruby and Willow. Like, those two together it's cool.
I don't mind
like
Ruby. I showed you that promo for when she first showed up, and she had that promo battle with Britt when Britt was champion, and like the crowd was so into her, and that was a good promo segment. But like a month later, nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, it kind of feels like the crowd definitely gave her a a really strong reaction coming out to save Willow. It was the best reaction out of the women's match at all, like in general.
And that's why giving them good stories matter.
Yes. Give them good stories.
Because talk about music that gets the crowd going. It gets the people going, man.
Yeah. Because, yeah, Ruby's song is... Come on. It's Ruby Soho.
Probably... Yeah, more than like anyone else's in the women's division, right? Like, there's not many that even have words.
Mm-mm. Yeah. And then, yeah, everybody else's is pretty. Yeah.
So, that being said, there was one thing that I meant to put in with something else, and I knew there should have been something else with it. Fucked up, but it's the only segment really left that at least I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Takeshi with Renee.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier, and I was like, when you said that we forgot something, or we had another segment, and I was like, Takeshi. There wasn't a whole lot to say, but you said it. I kind of think this would be cool if this is how they're going to do Takeshi interviews, because obviously English not the best yet, but he's got the charisma.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did here was perfect to me.
In the format that we were talking about, I feel like it kind of allows him to both be a little bit humorous, emphatic, and everything that he needs at the end to include his natural charisma without necessarily needing him to be a great English public speaker.
Yeah, like it was exactly what it needed to be. Like he said a little bit in English, and like, it was a good match with Danielson, and MJF sucks.
He loved wrestling Danielson. He actually said Danielson is his hero.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have his back because he doesn't trust MJF, and then you get the Japanese break.
Yeah, and then he cuts the Japanese, and then she asks, "What did you say?" He says, "MJF is an asshole."
Humorous, emphatic, entertaining.
Yeah, like that's exactly what. It's perfect.
What if he actually sticks with just is an asshole, and whoever he talks about, no matter what he has his promo with, is an asshole? So he can start doing the whole grab a mic, this person, and the crowd can go, is an asshole.
I'm gonna say I will be first in line to get that T-shirt. if he were to make this a thing.
What if he did the whole
first in line
arrow up, So it points at your own head, like how some of those shirts made, and it says, "This person is an asshole."
I mean, if it's about me being an asshole, that's different.
I just can't think about how.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the shirt would be, but if there was ever a shirt for that, buying it.
All aboard to catch
sure.
the train.
Like, we've Top Rope Tokes has been speaking the praises of Takeshita since the first time we saw him. Yeah, we'd be down to see him like every week.
Just not in the capacity that we do see him every week, because story wins.
Matches, please. Yeah, with some wins.
Meaningful matches and stories. But that wraps up everything, and we've been going. It's a little bit after midnight, and you know the name of the show. You know we're old. You know we're ready to sleep.
Yeah, it's late night talks here.
I don't think I missed anything. Did you catch anything?
We covered it all.
Because you have those sometimes when you fuck up and you miss something in the notes, I'm like, wait, he might catch me.
Mm-mm. Yeah. I usually go through and use the strike through font thing on everything. Yeah. So yeah, everything is struck through.
Oh crap, I'm already starting you on that good. I have to edit. We'll see you all on Friday. I do have an idea to speak with you about, but we'll talk about it off the air.
Yeah. All right.
Have a good night, everybody.